May be witnessing a humanitarian disaster in the making as a massive cyclone as powerful and broad as Hurricane Katrina has come ashore on India's densely populated coast.
The massive cyclone enough to cover all of France.
On the ground, the storm is whipping wind gusts of up to 150 miles per hour, swamping low-lying villages and driving a towering storm surge well inland.
It's being called Asia's Hurricane Katrina, the biggest storm to hit India in years.
Yeah, the area has seen severe storms in the past, but not this severe.
This could be the biggest storm India has ever seen.
Yeah, the North Indian Ocean has ever seen, and certainly has already tied for the number 2 spot here. We could even get worse than that.
A lot of Americans are seeing the worst nature has to offer, from a blast of crippling snow in South Dakota to a tornado outbreak in Nebraska and Iowa. All of this as Tropical Storm Karen remains on track to bring potentially flooding rain.
The front brought record rainfall to the region, more than 7 inches in 36 hours, twice the old record set 103 years ago.
That flooding a result of the same storm system that spawned 12 tornadoes this weekend in the Midwest.
Now, Typhoon Wifa, the strongest typhoon Japan has seen in a decade, has battered the northeastern part of that island nation, killing at least 14 people and damaging many, many homes.
City workers battled rising water levels, the impact of one of the most powerful storms of its kind to hit this country in years.
Waves more than 20 meters high crash down on China's southeast coast. A stark and brutal reminder that Typhoon Faitao is on the way. A top-level red alert has been declared by Chinese authorities. The 23rd typhoon to hit China this year, Faitao is bringing strong winds and heavy rain.
Typhoon Nari raged across Luzon Island in the northern Philippines on Saturday.
Again, speaking to the local people, typhoons do pass over the Philippines very often. But the locals we spoke to today were saying this was a very scary event, the worst typhoon they've seen.
Heavy flooding in Oaxaca as Tropical Storm Manuel and Hurricane Ingrid lash Mexico, killing at least 17. In Veracruz State, streets have turned to rivers.
Officials are calling the storm one of the worst natural disasters in Mexico's history.
We want to start with a look at a big storm that's on track to hammer parts of Asia. Forecasters say that Super Typhoon Usagi is the strongest storm that's been recorded on the planet so far this year.
With winds of up to 127 miles per hour, this is one of the strongest typhoons to hit the Western Pacific this year and is set to move further across China towards Hong Kong.
It's been a very eventful few days with the typhoon in China. And the one that's approaching now, Typhoon Danas, it's approaching the south of the Korean Peninsula.
We begin this evening with Korea's first tropical storm in October in 15 years.
And we've only had 4 October typhoons since 1950. Now, Typhoon Danas has been sweeping Jeju and the region in the southern coast.
Typhoon Francisco brought heavy rain and high winds to parts of Japan. People were being evacuated from the island about 120 kilometers from Tokyo, which was hit by a deadly storm last week, leaving 30 people dead. Another typhoon called Likima is also forming in the Western Pacific.
But we're going to turn now to what's being called biblical flooding across Colorado. Residents said they've never seen anything like it. The image is just shocking.
Stranded and submerged. The Colorado landscape washing away as rescuers race to those trapped by rising waters.
It's like the ocean out here.
Holy
This morning, Boulder County, Colorado is underwater. Torrential rains causing flash flooding overnight. At least 2 people have died from flooding from Boulder County all the way to Colorado Springs.
And they've got some issues with dams out there.
That's right. One dam is broken. 3 others are in danger of breaking.
In some areas, entire homes collapsed. The roads dangerous, if not impassable, with mud and rock slides across the county. Major thoroughfare US 36 shut down. Officials are ordering mandatory evacuation. At the University of Colorado at Boulder, floods are gushing over structures, completely surrounding college students with raging waters.
Water's up to my heels. It's not even, this is serious right now.
The early casualty estimates out of typhoon-stricken central Philippines are beyond staggering in the wake of one of the most powerful typhoons in recorded history.
These satellite photos show the immense storm, the strongest ever to hit land.
Wind gusts reached 175 miles per hour. Storm surges as high as trees laid waste to towns and villages.
Super Typhoon Haiyan raced across the Philippine Islands, kicking waves up to 19 feet high, winds up to 195 miles per hour. Parts of the islands devastated by what will likely go down as the most powerful typhoon in recorded history to make landfall. It was those wild 195-mile-per-hour winds, the chaos causing waves and surge to climb over 20 feet.
It begins.